with Spring Hawes, the BC NDP candidate for the Kelowna-West riding. Spring, you're a mortgage broker by trade right now anyway in Kelowna. What moved you to politics? What brought you to the political arena?
Well, I have been in politics before. Previously, I was a councillor in Invermere for 2 terms. And I was in a nomination, which I didn't win. So I think I entered politics because I saw that there were things that I would like to have a hand in changing. And so I went into politics, and I was able to do that for some time.
October 24th, people will walk into the polling booth. They'll see your name beside the BC NDP and the Kelowna-West riding. Why should they put a check mark or an X beside your name?
Because I'm really proud of the record of the BC NDP, that what's happened, what's been accomplished in the last 3 years in the province, I think is something that we can see the effects of. We have made huge investments in healthcare. We have, as an example, there's a new urgent and primary care clinic that's opened on the west side that has been wanted and needed for many years. So I think the residents of the west side are really appreciative of that. And many other things, increasing, better seniors care, building schools, building hospitals. I just see a lot of work that's been done, and I would like to see it continue.
The party is taking a bit of flack. Polls show that more British Columbians believe that calling an election during a pandemic was a mistake, that they should have waited until this time next year. What are you hearing, and what's your response when people say we shouldn't be doing this?
I have heard that only from a few people, and people's opinions are valid, and I didn't have a call in making the call. I think there were good reasons behind it, and it is what it is. So here we are, and I think let's move forward with a stable government for the next 4 years.
Premier Horgan didn't call for your opinion?
He did not.
Of course, being in the middle of a pandemic, campaigning is a little bit different. You're holding virtual, or not virtual, but you're holding meetings within the public, inviting people to come and see you, reverse door knocking, I guess, if you want to call it that. What are you hearing from the people of Kelowna-West?
The people that have talked to me they are really excited about what's happened in the province. And I've actually had, to be honest, I feel much more optimistic about the campaign now than I did when I started, because I've had amazing conversations with people who really do think that it's time for a change in the riding. So that's been refreshing to me and really exciting, and so, lovely to hear that people feel good about the way that things are going in the province.
Interesting you say that, because we are, of course, in the right in the middle of probably one of the largest entrepreneurial or most entrepreneurial areas in the province. You would consider, BC Liberal territory, so to speak. So does that give you confidence moving forward that that the message is the right message that you're portraying?
It does, actually. I've spoken to a lot of people who are very supportive. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I own my own small business, and I have for many years. And I think small business is absolutely the lifeblood of our communities. And I know that we have done things, the province has done things to support small business. I think there's probably, especially in the time of COVID, more things that we can do, because I know a lot of businesses are struggling badly. But I think we have to really support them and keep them going, especially, I think of, I was a single mom and I raised my kids running my own business, and so I think business is truly what keeps our communities rolling.
I know the Vancouver Board of Trade recently came out with a survey of their members that 4 in 10 believe that they will not survive the next 12 months, and I'm sure that's, very similar across the province. How do you deal with small business such as yours to support them and keep them going with a pandemic that has no expiry date as we speak?
I know it is a challenge, and I don't know all the answers to that at all. But I think we do have to keep listening and hearing what people need to be able to continue to go to move, to run their businesses. And I think there's, they've been so adaptable. They've changed so much, like restaurants completely changing their model to so much takeout. And we have to be able to support businesses in making the changes that they have to make in order to keep going through until we have a resolution.
What are the issues that you believe are top of mind in Kelowna-West? I know everything seems to pivot back to the pandemic, but what are some of the other issues that you're hearing from the constituents there? And
I hear I've spoken to quite a few of the different various local officials, from the municipal governments and other people just that I talk to at my meet and greets. And people are concerned about housing. That seems to be one of the most top of mind things, because people need a place to sleep. And that's a big problem, that we have a lot of ground to recover, because for many years we didn't invest in housing. And so that is definitely something that I hear a lot about. And we are making progress. We have started building supportive and subsidized housing, and there's much more to come. There's much more planned, which is great, but we have a lot more to build and a lot more to do.
Well, I know we're seeing a lot on the Kelowna side of both supportive housing and low-income housing. The west side, not so much yet, but have you talked to government there as to what their wishes and desires are?
I have, yeah, I have. And I know they are working on some things that are, I don't know the details because they aren't public yet, but I know they have some things that they're working on with the province, and there has been some progress, but yeah, they do need more help in that area for sure.
You do have experience in the healthcare industry with on the board of Interior Health. What's the word I'm looking for? The way the government has, and the three parties actually have on the health side looked after the COVID-19, your response to that, your reaction to what they've done?
Well, I think the numbers, really do speak for themselves. We have done very well in BC, and we've managed to bring it back down again. The numbers were going up, and I think that's, it speaks to our Minister of Health, Adrian Dixon, to Bonnie Henry, and the government for supporting the work they're doing. But it also speaks to people who are willing to make the changes that they need to make, and they adapt as much as they can. So overall, I think our response has been very good. I do worry about people that are in seniors care, and I worry about people who aren't able to leave their homes at all. I have a friend who hasn't been able to leave her home since March because she's immunocompromised and very vulnerable, and she just hasn't felt safe. So those people, we need to remember them, and we need to make sure that we're doing the best that we can for the very vulnerable. But overall, I think as a province, we've done amazingly well. So,
Spring, I'll give you an opportunity to look straight in the camera, look at the constituents of Kelowna-West, and give them your best pitch.
Well, thank you, voters of Kelowna-West. I hope that on October 24th, or at any of the advanced polls, any of the upcoming voting opportunities that you have, that when you go and to cast your ballot, you reflect on the work that's been done in the last 3 years, and you think deeply about where you would like to see our province go and what you'd like your priorities to be. Because for me, my priorities are people, and helping people, thrive and live the best lives that they can, and that happens through the proper supports from a government that cares about people.
Spring Hawes, BC NDP candidate for Kelowna-West, October 24th. Good luck, Spring.
Thank you very much.